Welcome again to Oregon Quilting, and once more we have real live people. It's not canned applause, it's real people. And we've had April showers, and it's May, which bring flowers, but we're still having April showers. But eventually summer will arrive, and then there will be even more interesting things to share. And you need to get paper and pencil, so that at the end of the program I have a big surprise for everybody, but you'll need paper and pencil to write down some things. So with that, we will start. And we have people to share again today. And you know, last month they weren't too happy with the challenge, but I love the projects. So let's start with Karen today.
Okay, in continuing with my block of the month, I made this.
Okay.
So just adding to the other blocks. And you know, I liked the colors. I didn't think it was so distasteful.
Okay.
In combination with the others, it was different, but it wasn't distasteful. I liked it.
Good. So good. I'm glad.
That was my block. And I've been playing, so I brought a little show and tell.
Oh, good. I like show and tell.
I have one of those tablets that's really popular, and my daughter-in-law had one, and she wanted a cover for her tablet.
Okay.
And so I thought, you know what, I can play with this. And I had bought some templates. They weren't working so well because they were too big. So I took the tablet cover that I had and created a pattern for it and used the double diamond pattern template that you can cut, and just satin stitched the edge so that it would stay without raveling and fraying on her, and made her a tablet cover.
And it's music.
You know, you like music.
I love music.
So, and I learn with each one. This one's still not perfect, but by the time I get to my cover, it'll be the best.
It'll be the best.
And I don't know what fabric I'll do it in.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Joy? Joy, joy. More music. More music. Good morning.
Well, my challenge fabric, I did the flying geese, and I've never done flying geese before. And the first one, the square didn't square up, and I didn't really have any information of how to sew it together.
Okay.
And what I found was I left too much space between the points and the the straight edges in this one.
Okay, I see, because there's a space.
The next one I made, I got it a lot more squished together so that my square was squared.
New and improved.
Yes. So I learned on these two.
Okay, okay. And that's what this is all about, is learning.
It is about learning.
Yeah,
That's
okay,
true.
thank you. Helen has been doing David and Goliath. I wrote a song about that a long, long time ago. Wish I could remember it, but I don't.
Well, this is still my David and Goliath, and I only brought one. I did do two.
Did you do two?
Yes. I changed it around
Okay.
and made this in the middle and so on and so forth.
Okay, okay. I like that. It's going to be fun at the end of the year to see all of them together. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Helen. All right, my ever faithful co-host is next, my support staff. I have support staff. Yay!
And I'm not just a mascot anymore. It's proven fact that I sew.
That's right. And we've been doing Quilts of Valor, and we've done several presentations, and there will be several programs on many times during May, during May and June. And this is actually what Faith has done, and it's not complete yet. It still needs to be quilted, but she has the panel in the center, and she did the stars, and she has points. She did her points.
Now, now I have to give credit where it's due. Renee and Angela did help me a lot. When it came to when it came to doing that yellow border or gold border, Renee did the math and she said, you have just enough to do that border. And she left. Well, and I'm sewing it on, and Angela's like, there is not going to be enough. And Renee said there was, so I kept sewing. Angela's like, there's not going to be enough. Nope, Renee said there was. There was like that much left. It was like, oh my gosh. But I ended up putting the rest of it together, and then when I came to the cornerstones, it was supposed to go red, white, and blue for the stars, and somehow I got off task somehow. You know, I'm a squirrel, okay? You know, I get off task easy.
Red, white, blue.
Yeah, well, it
Or
doesn't
white,
do that
blue, white.
because if you look over in the corner, there's two whites together.
That's okay.
So, but that's okay. So Renee said, well, why don't you just take what gold you have left of one extra piece that we had and make cornerstones? So that's what I did. So I'm going to, this ought to get a lot of coughs out of the audience. I'm going to hand quilt the center of the panel because I can't do it on any of my machines.
Okay.
I'm going to do the really hard part, and then where the eyes are and where the stars are gleaming, I want to put a bead.
Okay.
Because I figure this is not going to be the comfort side. This is going to be the side that shows. The comfort side will not have anything to, obstruct any kind of hardware or something they may have on. But I want it to pop. And Jody Bergman did a wonderful job on that, and we're hard-pressed to find this fabric. We have a lot of people searching for it because we're almost out.
Yes.
I have called all over the United States looking for it. So if you know where anybody has some, let me know, please.
Yeah, you can go to the website and leave a message on the comment page.
Yeah. So anyway, okay, let's see. This is Angela's. This is her latest, and I think she did a wonderful job. And as you see, it goes along with the one from before and the one before that and the one for January before that. So that's going to be pretty interesting how those turn out. And Angela, again, is from St. Helens. And she came over to my house a lot the last month or so. She knows where the ice maker is, and she knows where the sandwich stuff is. Because she spent so much time at my house helping me. So does Renee. Now, this is Teresa's. She couldn't be here today. She is from Oregon City, and you all have seen her before. She called me up and she asked me, can I do anything for the challenge? And I'm like, well, yeah. So she said, well, I want to make a quilt that I can give to charity. And I said, that's fine. She says, can I add extra fabric to it? I said, you certainly can do anything you like, dear. And this is what she came up with. Now, the blues are all part of the challenge, is the main challenge. Then we have this one and this one and this one has been part of the challenge. This yellow and this green has been part of the challenge, and she'll be adding more to it. She's going to do something to the effect of like a row robin. Every month there's going to be another row or two, depending on how much fabric she has. But I thought she did a great job, and her back looks really nice.
Oh yeah, she's the one we show her back.
Yeah, we can show her back too. Her and Lori But this is all regular piece. This isn't paper pieced. All her little seams are perfect. Yeah.
They are perfect. And then they match too. I
Yeah.
mean, perfectly match.
Yep.
Perfectly match.
Yep. Yeah, she's showing off. She can't even be here today. That's okay. I know where she lives. Now, this is Renee's. Renee is my friend. Hanneman is from Oregon City. We like to call it Happy Rock.
Gladstone.
Oh, what did I say?
You said Oregon City.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was Teresa's. Excuse me. This is Renee's. She is from Gladstone. We like to call it Happy Rock. And I thought she did a beautiful job. She has an EQ7, and she started putting it together. Now, was this the one you did as a paper piece? And then you just did it as pieces? And all her little diamonds are perfect. Look at that. Get close up of that, John. Look at that. That's disgusting. Nobody's diamond should be that perfect. But, you know, and her center looks very nice too. She did a nice job on it. I'm impressed. And you know, this is kind of like going out of your comfort zone. So I think she did a nice job of it. Just wait till you see next month's challenge. And I'm gonna hold that off till Elizabeth says I can show it,
That's right. We have
because
some
she
other
has
things
some other
first.
things to do.
I do.
So, thank you for
Well, thank
for
you. Thank you.
giving me the opportunity to make the Quilt of Valor.
Well, I needed to prove that you really do sew.
Yes, and I do. And this, oh, by the way, most of this, all the sewing I did was on my 1951 featherweight, my centennial that my dad bought my mom. And so it's got a little heritage to it.
Yes. And your family has a heritage, and so if you go watch the Quilt of Valor program,
You'll see me cry. Yep.
So,
Yep. It was very cool. We met some awesome, wonderful people. We really did. And we just can't say enough about what they've done for us. And Karen knows where I'm coming from. She has 2 young men in the military, and her husband is retired, as is her dad. So, you know, thank you. We appreciate everything you do for us.
So, all right, thank you. Now, last month we started this, and we had the umbrellas. Remember, I showed you how the wrong way. And if you didn't see that, be sure and go to the website, new videos page, and you can watch towards the end of the program how I showed the wrong way, and then I showed the right way. So every month I'm adding something. So for this month, we added the Origami Flowers. I spent some time in Japan. I was supposed to spend longer, but I didn't like it there. The Japanese people are wonderful, but I just wanted to come home. But I did learn some origami. So these are Origami Flowers, and I will show you how to make them in a minute. And then the challenge fabric is my picket fence. And then on this other side over here, in my backyard, I have this kind of thing. It looks like this. Well, I got a new toy, which I'm going to show you, for pinking. So this is the fabric from 2 months ago, the peacock fabric. So that's my vine. And so it's not flat. It's puffy. And then I will be adding, next month I'll add some more to that. But I want to show you this new tool. Remember when I did these, I used my Phillips screwdriver. Well, I like interesting things. So I have a new toy. Remember pinking shears? And mine are so heavy that I can't work them at all. Well, this is a new toy from, it started in, I believe, 1939, back in Connecticut. And then when that person passed away, why, somebody from Scappoose, Oregon, flew back and got the patent and got all the materials and everything. These are made in Oregon in the United States of America. So what they are, it's rotary. So it works on paper, it works on fabric. You can go straight if you want, and you just start. So you don't need a mat, you don't need a cutting board, you don't need anything. It just keeps going until you get to the end. And then there it is. If you want to go crooked, you can go crooked. You just start and make any kind of a design you want. If you want circles, if you want scallops, does whatever you want it to do. So that's my new toy. So that's what I used on my little vines. And you can do little tiny. So I want to show you a little tiny. So here's a little piece of the ostrich feathers, right? I'm going, no, peacock, 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 wrong bird. So I folded it in half, and you can make it really tiny. And your fingers can't get in there because it's protected, so they can't get to the blade. And you just keep going. Till you get to the end. So then you have a little, so that's what I used to make my little vine. So, isn't that fun? That's clever. It took me, well, the first time I tried it, I couldn't do it because you have to just let the fabric go through by itself and you can't push it, but you just keep going and going. So it's, the Florian Pinker, it pinks as it rolls to give your next project that professional touch. Although usually you don't, I guess for applique, you might want to do pinking, and for curves it works well on curves. So that was my fun toy, my new fun toy. This will not, however, go in my tool drawer. It goes in the sewing. Now for the flowers. You see that? It needs to be against something. So you can see, well, that doesn't show. Here, white kind of shows. So this is one of Marty Michelle's templates, and this is actually from Perfect Patchwork Templates Set C. And so there are all kinds of blocks that you can make with her templates. And they all come, and they're numbered. Everything has numbers on all of her templates. And then it shows all the blocks. You can make all kinds of blocks. Has all the instructions and directions. However, sometimes there are other things you want to do, and I wanted to do my origami flowers. Anybody who's done origami, it needs to be square or rectangle, but usually square. Well, it's hard to get a perfect square. So I just used the template to make my square. It's about 4 7/8. So you start, and I made this big because it's easier to see. So you start with your square. This is not the right one to start with. This is the right one to start with. Here's your square. So you iron it this way. And then you open it up. So you iron it vertical and horizontally. Then you open it up and you're going to be pressing into the center. So on all four sides. So I did two and then I did the others.
So kind of like an envelope.
Yep, kind of like an envelope. Then the next step, you're going to be pressing again into the center. And your folded parts in the back. So you're folding. And then you also do it the other direction, so you have all four. So when you have all four, this is what it looks like on the back. So you have all four, then you've got these little things hanging out here. Well, what are you going to do with these little things hanging out there? So if you're sewing it onto a project, well, you'll put it down and you'll tack it. So I tack it one way and then I folded it and tacked it the other way. So it's all tacked down there. And then what I did, I stitched around. So I stitched it to the fabric on all four of these sides. So that stayed down. Then the lovely little trick is, you take your corner and you press it down, and then you take the tip and you put that down like that. That makes your flower. And then I tacked it down. I've done some other things where I didn't sew it down, but I tacked it down. So you do that with all four of them. I don't have enough fingers. And then you've got your flowers. So, and you can turn it, on point, or you can turn it anyway. And you can make tinier ones if you want to. You just take smaller squares, tiny squares of fabric. But no, I don't like that tiny squares. So that was how I did the origami flowers. And I did do 1,000 cranes for Sadako, for the little Japanese girl. So I did fold 1,000 cranes, and I had them hanging for a while, and then I started giving them away. So I enjoy doing origami, but I don't always remember how to do it. But there are lots of books and lots of instructions. Now, I told you to get paper and pencil, so I hope you all have paper and pencil, but we'll put the information also. It will be on the bottom of your screen. So I'm going to be giving you something this month, okay? So you need an envelope, business-size envelope, and you need to put the address, Oregon Quilting, Post Office Box 23432, Tigard, Tigard, Oregon, 97281. So it's Post Office Box 23432 and Tigard, Oregon, 97281. Now in your envelope to me, you need to put an envelope with your name and your address and a forever stamp. So you can just do that and then fold it up and put it in the envelope to me, And I will be sending you something back in the mail. And it's a surprise, and it's free, except, yes, it costs you, is it 46 cents now for the stamp? But I have something special I want to share with all of you. So be sure, and if you need the information, it'll be on your screen. So we thank all of, oh, clothes. I did bring clothes today. So this was from Symphony again. So it's a dress with an overskirt. So this was all the fabric from this particular, I can't remember. And so it all went together. It was all the same line. And so I just made the overskirt. And it was for, can you guess what it was? It was for Spanish Splendor. And so this little vest goes on, and the sleeves come through. It's also reversible, so it's got the pink on the other side. And one of the Spanish songs was, my hat, it has 3 corners. 3 corners has my hat. And had it not 3 corners, it would not be my hat. So that was actually one of the pieces that the Oregon Symphony played. So this was the jacket and the dress. It's easier to put it on and wear it than to put it on here. And then I made the bag to go with it. And of course the bag is reversible. So then the bag can go with the other side, the jacket. If you don't want the symphony program on the back of your clothes. So that was fun. I had a lot of fun making it. I enjoyed all the things that I did for the symphony. And so each month it's been fun to begin to share all these things with you. So I thank you very much. Be sure and go to the website, www.oregonquilting.weebly.com. Now, before we say goodbye, Faith is going to show you the challenge fabric, and all of you are welcome to get challenge fabric. You can leave a comment on the comments page on the website, or you're welcome to write us at Oregon Quilting, Post Office Box 23432. Easy to remember. Faith. You all love me, right? Yes? Yes?
Yeah, you should love her at this point. Elizabeth is really good at taking people out of their comfort zone. I don't know if you had if the audience has gone back and seen any of our previous tapings, like the batiks that she had given us as a challenge. I believe it was last September or August. And in October, we presented her with a quilt that we had all made. And some of us were saying, oh, you know, I don't do batiks because I don't buy them because I just don't know what to do with them. Well, in turn, the person that made the most noise about that made 2 of the most beautiful, Karen, 2 of those beautiful blocks that were on it. And she was also in a round robin that was 6 of our Wombat gals were in, and they came out with some of the most gorgeous quilts. Mm-hmm. And this was, you know, every month, or, you know, somebody put a new row on it. And Karen's turned out really nice, and I mean, I gave her all my batiks and said, here, go ahead, you know, because I know that you're, you know, batik poor, as far as not everybody has all the colors. because there's always new ones coming out. Well, this is kind of one of those things. Now, this is along the same lines as the challenge fabrics that we've been working with all year. And this is the sunny yellow that you see here on the table. And it's very beautiful. It has almost like a daisy design.
Mm-hmm.
And it is just very adorable. Then we have the main color, which is that blue. And it's a floral. And very nice. Of course, I love blues, so.
No.
Here's the kicker. Okay, don't you just love it? Oh, Karen's shaking her head. Yeah, I like that. Okay, I'm gonna remember that, because I thought, oh wow, this is totally gonna take everybody out of their comfort zone. But it does have red in it, and the blue, and the yellow, and the green that we've all seen. So it's gonna be kind of interesting to see what these ladies come up with for the next challenge with these
Yes.
different fabrics.
And what you don't know is yellow is not my color. So talk about not being in my comfort zone. I'm the pink and purple person. And so for me to be doing all these things with yellow is not my favorite thing to do. But I've had to learn that other people like things differently. And so we've got the blue and the yellow, and so I hope that you're all enjoying it. And so thank you, Faith.
Thank you.
And thank everybody for coming, and we thank you all for watching. And join us next time on Oregon Quilting.